All right, guys, we are moving into the lightning talks, okay? So everybody has 5 minutes. That's the rule. You cannot go over. We will pull you off and, anyways. So you're going to see a countdown timer, and when you see 5 seconds left, I want everybody to tap, 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 just like this. Lovely. Everybody practice. Let me see. Well done. You can tell I teach children. Yes, yes, yes. All right, and then when we see the time runs out, we're going to clap, and we're going to do the applause. Yes, very good, very good. Now, the person who gets the loudest applause wins. I can tell because I'm a physicist, so I can measure decibels with my brain. And what they're going to win is keeping their dignity. Yeah. All right. On y va. All right, our first talk is PyCon-PL with Philippe. Take it away, Philippe.
Oh, this one works. Great. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. I would like to talk about the PyCon-PL conference. So, what's the plan? And about the conference. It's the 16th edition of the conference, so it's happening since 2008, only skipped once during the COVID. Up to 4 tracks, so 4 talks, 4 workshops. From last year, 80% of content was in English, and probably it will be the same this year. 40 to 50 talks, 12 workshops, 2 to 4 keynote speakers, 3 sessions of lightning talks, and a social event that includes dinner, board games night, and some free beer. So first thing, when? So it will happen at the end of August and also will include the 1st of September. So it's from Thursday to Sunday. We're in a city called Gliwice at the Silesian University of Technology. And where is Gliwice? It's in the southern Poland. Who heard about Gliwice? Oh, I'm surprised. That's so many people. Okay. So it's not a big city, but large enough to appear on the Slovak Wikipedia. So it's a part of bigger metropolitan area with the main city, Katowice. So the symbol of Gliwice is radio tower, and actually it's the tallest wooden construction in Europe. So quite interesting fact. Also on the Slovak Wikipedia there was the information about that. How to get there? So by train. So Gliwice has direct train connection to Bratislava, Berlin, Budapest, Prague, Vienna. The nearest airport are Katowice Airport and Krakow. So the Krakow is the second biggest airport in Poland. And it's easily reachable by car because Gliwice has intersection of 2 important motorways, A1 and A4. That are connected with the Czech Republic and Germany. So, direct trains from Bratislava to Gliwice. As you see, the price can be really low if you book earlier, so only 10 euros, quite cheap. Accommodation. So when I was giving lightning talks about PyCon-PL in the past, I talked that the accommodation is included. But now in the current editions after the COVID, it's not included, so you need to find accommodation on your own. There's plenty of options in Gliwice itself, but also in neighboring cities. And for the cheapest option, you can book a room in a dormitory. And it's a good option, and the dormitories are renovated. Call for proposals. It will open in next week, probably on 19th of March, so quite close to today. And what are the submission types? Talk, workshops, discussion panels, contest, and anything else you can imagine. So you have an option when submitting call for proposal that you can propose your own conference activity. The preferred language is English, and the speaker's benefits are free ticket and accommodation for the time of the conference. And deadline for the call for proposal submissions is 22 of April. Unfortunately, the website is not ready yet, but check the website next week, and it should be already the 2024 edition. And I guess that's all. So I hope to see you on PyCon PL, and I would like to ask for a big applause once again for PyCon SK organizers that did great work. And don't worry about the quiz, the conference is fine, you know, everything went well. So thank you.
Thank you, Philippe. All right. I'll hand you this microphone when you're ready. Or we can turn this on. Okay. Are you ready to go?
Hello. Ah, you can hear me now. That's perfect. All right. I think you can see me as well, right? So maybe some of you have, oh, not yet, not yet. Oh, not yet.
Yeah, I thought you were introducing yourself. All right, so next we have Disadaptive, and your name is Peter?
Peter.
Peter, nice to, okay, let's go.
So maybe you have heard about this module, import this. It's very eloquent, but we're not native English speakers. We don't use words like eloquent, and we do import this. Now, what does this do? I need a function for that, like add A and B, return A plus B, right? The simplest function you can write. Need to call the function too. And need to call it with actual arguments. Okay, so yeah, that's that. And then when I do this dot this with the function, it tells me what's the bytecode of this function, so how to execute this function. So what this function does, it loads two variables, A and B, it adds them together, this binary means there's two of them, and it returns the resulting value, right? And that's very interesting, do it for larger functions, your head will spin. In newer versions of Python, we have an argument called adaptive equals true, and when I do that, it well, let me put a print here so we know where that starts. Okay, so it does exactly the same thing as before, right? The new thing in new versions of Python is we have adaptive bytecode, which means this operation, the adding, which is quite slow, becomes adapted to integers. But it only happens if you call the function with integers enough times. So let's call it once more, and now we have this binary op add int, which is a bit faster because it knows its, or well, it assumes its arguments are integers, and it checks that they are, and then adds them together without, you know, asking the first object, hey, I would like you to figure out what the other object is, and do some kind of addition with it, which is very slow. So one of the reasons we have a speed up in new versions of Python is these adaptive opcodes, right? You call a function twice with the same kind of arguments, and it detects that you'll probably use it with the same arguments again. Let's try that with strings. I do it with strings, and it stays int. Which is not that bad. It just knows that they are not exactly ints, so it falls back to doing the slow thing. But if I do this often enough, it will switch to adding strings or floats if I do floats. And apparently the magic number is 53. I'm not exactly sure why. It was probably measured very carefully. It might have something to do with prime numbers or something like that. Anyway, if you would like to see how Python works on the inside, how the bytecode works for the virtual machine, you should import this. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I tell you guys a good chemistry joke while we waited, but all the good ones are gone. Actually, there is a good one. Oxygen and potassium went on a date. It was just okay. Went on a joke. I run the punchline. Oxygen and magnesium went on a date, and I was like, OMG. All right, we have Michael, is it? And,
yeah, Michael.
and you are talking about.
Sorry.
What are you talking about?
Talking about flat.
Excellent, flat. All right, take
Okay,
it away.
hello everyone. My name is Michal Sestrinka. I would like to present you something related multi-platform GUI programming. And it is package flat. Probably a lot of you are developing GUI application. There are a lot of frameworks which you are using. Some are better, some are not so good. But what I would like to present you, possibility of programming multi-platform. What I mean multi-platform, it is presented on this picture, so mobile, web, and desktop application. How we can achieve it? We can achieve it via a flat framework. You can find some documentation here, and then also there are GitHub. GitHub project page. Project consists a lot of packages which are tied together, and you can do which I will present you later. So what is behind? It is something like this. You write a Python's program which use flat. You start this program. Program automatically downloads server and Flutter client, and they are communicating. If you want to deploy somewhere, you need to artifacts like binary version, and you can build binary version according these metrics. I just want to point out that if you want to build it like your Python application for iOS, you need to build it on Mac, and you can see a lot of possibilities. So let's go. Demo just here. We will have application which is like counter application. You can click on plus and minus, and as you can see, you can see native Windows window, then Mac window, and you can also here is example of web window. If I zoom it like this way, it's kind of, if you are familiar with Flask, it's like similar. You import flat, then you at bottom put one routine into the application. And for example, you have everything is like a page, and page could have view, and you are putting elements like buttons and so on into this page. And for example, we have text field, and then we put into the rows two buttons, and in the middle text field. And buttons can have callbacks like this minus, and when you click on button in Flutter, the message is delivered to Python's code. It is increased or decreased, and the change is via page update reflected back to Flutter client. And maybe for how many times we have? Okay, so maybe for better understanding, this is like projects gallery, and you can see that everything is built by flat. And as you can see, for example, you can change line teams and so on. Yeah, and you can click. There is multiple buttons, and you can investigate it yourself. Maybe try to run demo. Maybe not sure if. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I run it, and I can click. And what is perfect on it? It works like hot reloading. I will change the code. Save, and it is okay. Thank you.
Very nice. Glad you guys got that. Good job. Thank you. Thank you.
This one. Should I do slideshow or? I can see here and there. Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay. Great. Now we have Filipa, and she's doing I Am Biased. Yeah. Oh, I can read it right there.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Filipa. I'm going to lightning talk to you about unconscious bias. Do I have to stay here or? Yeah. Okay, that's okay. So this is ChatGPT, a very beautiful description of what is it. But basically, they are hidden biases very deep in our brains that might, if used very fast, they might be source of discrimination. You probably already heard about that. And we don't really realize it. So I call this I am biased because I also have these biases. All of us have them. And it happened to me the other day that I went with my friend. We were walking, and we both work in IT. And she was very frustrated about her job. And she was telling me that she wanted to quit. And in one moment, my very fast brain just said, hey, if they open a junior position at my work, I will tell you. And then there was this awkward silence. And then she said, Filipa, I'm not a junior. And this is when I realized that it just hit me. So of course she's not a junior, I know, but I did it so fast, I talked so fast that I didn't think about it. So now I make the game to you. Are you biased? So I have a small game for you. You don't need to say anything. There's no quiz or subscription I have to do to do this game. So it's very simple. There are faces of people, and you're going just to think who is what. So who is a doctor? A nurse? Electrician? A secretary? There are more. A teacher? The president. I know who is the president. A driver? A maid. Some more. Who is smart? We like a lot this word in IT. Who is smart? I'm sure we all are. Sensitive. I hope you all are too. Who is a data engineer? And this one I have to do my disguise. Who is a programmer? So I hope it triggers something with you. Let me see the time. Okay. So type of biases, there are many types of biases, but I'm just talking about these ones based on visuals. Like you just see someone, and we love to put people into categories, and that's why we survived probably, and we still need that a lot for protection. But sometimes these biases might be harmful in the societies as we have them now. So ageism, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So like you perceive the abilities of someone based on their age or the age you perceive this person is. Appearance, we know this one very well. Everything you see, like color of your skin, the way you look, your hair, your facial characteristics, everything might make you think something about the other person. And the gender, and the gender one also, another one that is very, very famous. So the perceived gender will make you think something about the abilities of that person. And this is where we want to kind of stop ourselves. So this is real, we all have this because it's based on our education, our society, everything is made, some things deep in our brains. But you need to think that it might hurt people when we let ourselves think too fast. Being aware of them is the best way to control this so that you don't hurt people, especially friends. For example, I hurt a bit my friend, and I'm glad that she felt safe to tell me. But if you are meeting someone you never met before, they will not tell you. So it's good to be aware. Harvard has this project Implicit. You can go online and test your biases. Quite interesting. There are all kinds of stuff there. Good advice I always hear is slow thinking. Like, don't jump into saying something very fast. Yeah, take a step back and just think about what you really want to say, or if it just popped in your head by magic. So be respectful and be kind to each other. That's my advice. So thank you. All images were generated with Midjourney, so no GDPR I broke to show you all these people. If you know some of that people there, it's possible. My contacts are here if you want to chat about anything. I'm with PyLadies Bratislava. That's my GitHub. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Filipa.
You have HDMI, right?
Yes. Áno, mám HDMI.
Okay, up next we have Point Life Hacks with Miloš.
Skúsme to nastaviť. Áno. Ideme tým výstup rozšíriť doprava. Máme to dole zatiaľ.
I'm out of cringy chemistry jokes. I'm so sorry. I know you guys love those.
Tento bude lepší.
Dad jokes are coming up. All right, ready to go.
Ahojte, nedajte sa oklamať. Toto mi napísali kamaráti a snad tam nebudú blbosti, potom sa smejte im. Just kidding. OK, so in Slovak. Mám 3 necelé životné hacky, s ktorými by som sa chcel podeliť. Začneme hneď prvým. Čo vám chýba na Pythone? Pohyb. Takže po náročnom dni začneme s problematickým pohybom na začiatok. Poprosím vás teraz trošička vašej interaktivity. Ruky hore, zakývame Pánu Bohu do okien. Au. Zakývame svojim nohám. Zakývame susedovi doľava. Zakývame susedovi doprava. Výborne. Sme rozhýbaní. A teraz to príde. Takže, opakujte po mne. Tak. Teraz zakývame Pánu Bohu do okien, svojim nohám, susedovi doľava, susedovi doprava. Prepačte, zdravie. Pozor na svoje zdravie a hľadajte ho, kým ono nenájde vás. A teraz, pokiaľ nemáte zlomené ruky... Dobre. Poďme ďalej. Nezabudeme sa hýbať. A už viackrát tu odznelo niečo o dockeroch, o tom, že je to prenositeľné a podobne. Conda v tomto smere tiež môže prísť na pomoc, pretože neviem, koľký z vás sa snažili presunúť virtual env. Pre expertov sa spomenie iba malú výzvu. Skúste presunúť virtual env z RHEL Linuxov na nejaké Ubuntu alebo Arch Dockery. A keď sa vám to podarí, ozvite sa mi. A teraz vážne. Conda je super vec. a je staticky linkovaná. A existuje, že Conda Package. Využite to. V prípade, že idete presúvať dáta, alebo teda to vaše prostredie na rovnaký OS s rovnakou CPU architektúrou, tak v podstate iba keď to urobíte, tak na danom mieste to untarnete, aktivujete, zbehnete Conda Unpack a idete. Takže je to naozaj niečo, čo vás udrží v pohybe, je to čosi ako Lightweight Docker. A iba moja poznámka, neobmedzujte sa na Python, môžete si tam nainštalovať MCčko alebo veľa vecí. Hýbte sa. Dobre, to sme mali telo, fyzické, technické. A poďme na dušu. Komunikácia. Moja skúsenosť. A keď máte veľký projekt a chcete dosiahnuť veľké veci, potrebujete aj väčší tím. A technicky aj netechnicky. Čím máte viacej ľudí v tom tíme, tým viacej komunikácie potrebujete. Technickej aj netechnickej. A potom zistíte, že hard skills sú skôr také lokálne pre tie moduly a komunikácia ako soft skills je globálna pre celý projekt, aby vôbec existoval, aby vôbec fungoval. A preto vo veľkých projektoch sa veľmi často, až príliš často stáva, že hard skills sú menej než soft skills. Nedajte sa tým limitovať, získajte ich a hýbte sa. A komunikácia nie je všetko. Buďte vo vnútri a v srdci dobrými ľuďmi, pokiaľ môžete. Verte, že môžete. A máme zhruba 3 body, 3,141, to je zhruba 3. OK. Časť 2. Dávajte pozor na príliš toxických ľudí, takých, čo vás ignorujú a ktorí vás viac využívajú, ako vás akceptujú. A to je napríklad vtedy, keď manažér ignoruje vašu potrebu rásť, alebo keď kolegovia v tíme ignorujú vaše veľmi opodstatnené a veľmi kritické nejaké požiadavky, ktoré sú nutnosťou. Alebo ak vás nejak vaša práca nečelinžuje, alebo ak váš plat vy viete. Takže hýbte sa. A teraz prejdeme aj na niečo také transcendentné, možno trošku duchovnejšie. To je nová generácia. Istotne ste počuli o code reproducibility, ale neviem, či ste počuli o coder reproducibility. A možno sa smejete, ale je to rovnako dôležité. A je každého z nás úlohou dať novú generáciu. Aj kóderov. A v opačnom prípade, ak nedáte vášmu projektu novú generáciu kóderov, jeho osud je ísť do koša. A tam iba spomeniem, že mierou čitateľnosti vášho kódu, ktorá tu už bola spomenutá niekoľkokrát, je, koľkým kóderom to viete posunúť. Neprestaňte sa hýbať. Platí to aj pre život. A posledná vec, najdôležitejšia. Potlesk pre tých, pre ktorých sme my novou generáciou, našim učiteľom.
Great, thank you.
Thank a lot. Auf Deutsch, guten Tag. A po slovensky veselé Vianoce a šťastný nový rok.
Hi. All right, now we have the CC stack with T. Christian, I believe.
Chris. Sorry?
Chris.
Oh, I walk a lot, so can I use this one?
I will just disable that.
Okay. Okay, does this work? Okay. Great, okay. So, oh, sorry, just a second, I have to switch the screen. Yeah. Oh, so the delay. Oh, you're getting spoiled. Spoilers. Okay, so I'm Chris. I come from the web development community, and in web development we have this sport to brag about our tech stack. And I'm going to show you some of the contenders. We have the JavaScript community and their spaghetti monster, which they all acclaim, and there are many frameworks. We have the mercenaries doing Django with HTMX, or maybe some do Golang with HTMX. There's the web developers who already ascended, and they're doing web development in Rust. But I'm going to show you a new stack that I've come up with. I mean, I didn't come up with it. It's called the CS stack from ChatGPT and Streamlit. So yeah, if you haven't gotten a CS diploma or degree just yet, you're going to get it in the next 4 minutes. So just a second. let me show you real quick. So I've actually built this application in Streamlit in like 20 minutes because I just joined a synthetic biology club as a Python mentor, and I'm learning biology with them, and they just don't have enough patience to learn like the basics of Python. You know, Python is already pretty high up there on the layers of abstraction. It's a pretty high level language, but it wasn't enough for them. They wanted something that's just instant. So we've built this, just a second, and we've built this with a single prompt. I actually show you 3 versions. Each one is like one extra prompt. So this basically accesses the NCBI database. Let me show you the code actually real quick if I have the time. Oh, okay. So basically what this does is just the title, then it says this, the description. We have an input, accession number, it's a text input. Then it's pretty cool, like with only this line, if button, you also create a button and also declare what it's going to do after you press it. So it's so little code for so much. So let's see what happens. Ah, frick. Okay, so if I play analyze sequence, it basically makes a request. I've actually explained what API requests mean. Like I said, it's like a delivery boy or something. So let's see what we did with 2 prompts. This time we enter 2 IDs. So this goes to this page right here, which basically has some DNA stuff data, and you only have you have an ID, and you can just use that ID to fetch the data. So if we use both of these sequences, it does a comparison, and you can see basically at which position you have the same, basically like a comparison between them. And then with the 3 prompts, we've actually included the GPT, the OpenAI API, and it only was like 20 lines of code extra. They found this really cool because we both created a chart showcasing like the content of each nucleotide and an explanation with ChatGPT. So this got them a lot more interested in programming because it wasn't enough to show the variables and the basics. So I see I have 2 more minutes, but I'm done.
Very much. Very good. All right. And Anton? Artur. Okay. All right. Next we have Artur to talk to us about EuroPython. Ooh. I won't be there this summer, but you guys should go. It's going to be a blast. You're going to hear all about it once they get this set up soon. Hype.
Wait. I want to do
Your dad's a joke.
mirror, yes. Okay.
Code of conduct violation.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I have a couple of conference announcements to make, so I'll start with the EuroPython. Who knows what EuroPython is? Okay, that's a lot more hands than when I was here in 2022 and asking the same question. That's really good to see that. For those of you who don't know, EuroPython is a 7-day Python conference. This year, just like last year, it's happening in Prague in July 8th to 14th. If you go to europython.eu, there's like a full description of what's happening. Maybe I'll make it a little bit larger so you can see. There's like 2 days of tutorials, 3 days of conference talks, and then 2 days of sprints. This year, it's happening in exactly the same place as last year. So in PCC, who went to EuroPython in 2023? Okay. Hopefully, if you went there and if you enjoyed it, you get to enjoy it again. If you haven't been there, now it's the opportunity to catch up. We had a running call for proposals. We did finished last week, this week. On Thursday, we received a record-breaking 627 submissions. Now we will start the community voting and the panel review of those proposals. So the program will be out in probably a couple of months. If you've ever been to EuroPython before, you were eligible for voting, so please follow that page and there will be like a special link that you will receive to vote on what you like the best to see at the conference. The tickets will start March 25th and the FinAid is already open, so if you go to the website, there are all the details there. If you want to learn more about EuroPython, there's also EuroPython blog at blog.europython.eu, and there's this button on the bottom right, subscribe to EuroPython newsletter. We send all the important announcements via email, so if you don't, you can follow us on social media, and if not, you can sign up for a newsletter and get all the information that way. So hope to see you all in Prague, but if July is too far ahead for you, there's another conference. It's in Florence. It's PyCon Italia. And if you go to pycon.it, you will get all the details. The schedule is out. It's in Florence, 22nd to 25th of May. There's the schedule, there are the tickets, the keynoters, everything is on the website. Who've been to PyCon Italia in Florence before? Okay, less people than EuroPython, but still a bunch. If you've been there before, there's, again, opportunity to see the PyCon Italia again. If you've never been there before, there might be the last chance to see PyCon in Florence. I'm told that they're looking into switching the venue next year. It's not confirmed yet, but if you've never been to Florence, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I think that's it. If you want to learn more about EuroPython, I'll be around. It's the end of the day, but I'll still be around. And then happy to talk. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Hope you guys all make it. It was great last year. All right, so next we have Look at That Traceback by Miro, who was an excellent opponent, I believe, today, if that was the person coming up on the screen.
Is it on? Yeah.
Looks like it.
I'm gonna do a lot of live coding, so I need my hands. Okay, so how many of you already use Python 3.13? You should try harder and report bugs because it's still alpha. Let me have a string here. Don't trust atoms. They make up everything. Oh, it's a traceback. The traceback has colors in it. Thank you.
You know, that was absolutely beautiful. I think so far you've got the best applause. I hate to burst your bubble, but you could have just used double quotation marks there. All right, who's up next? Don't forget Excel, but where's the person they've forgotten to show? There they are, hello. Don't forget Excel by Martine. I bloody well hate Excel, so prove me wrong.
Okay, let's get started. Hi, everyone. This time without any presentation or showcase. I hope you forgive me for that because I want to tell you something about Excel. I hope everybody knows that. What forgetting? Because it's time of high school graduations, in Slovak maturita, or monitor this elementary school. You know, if you are parents or have younger siblings, you know what I'm talking about. Is about learning stuff. If you are use it in your current job, actually, for example, quadratic functions. And Excel is one about this boomerang things which revert you when you need it again. Then I think is really useful stuff for that. As a data science or the data engineer is really oftentimes used and very useful tools. For example, contingency table or pivot table provides you very basic data cleaning functions. I will not talk about everything, of course. Is just sharing about that, and I think with Excel you can provide nice, simple visualization for that. For example, Pareto charts is very nice, very basics, and I personally didn't know, for example, that numeric values are on the right side on the cell and text or string values or the left side. And just another observation, when you save Excel as a CSV file, is tells you that it's comma separated. It's actually not. Really, try yourself and think about it, because it's not really comma separated. Maybe it's not general issue, but in Slovakia, we are use comma for separating decimal places, and in contrast to dot, like United States or England, for example. Yes, I think it's worth Excel not forgetting, because you never know when you use that. Even if you know any, I would say, advanced tools, for example, Tableau or Talent for data cleaning and data preparations. I think Excel is basic, and it's good stuff, good tools to bounce into the better future and improve your career experiences. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. I am completely sold. I will now exclusively be using Excel. Goodbye. I'm leaving the Python community. All right. Next, we have local models, llama.cpp by another Martin.
Je to tam, super. Ešte asi tento viem. Je ma počuť? Môžem si to nejako dvihnúť? Tak. Okay. So, hi, my name is Martin. I am an application architect in IBM, and the following presents only my view and not IBM's. So it's my personal opinion. How many of you do know Llama CPP? Oh, so only so little, okay. Okay, so last year, not only ChatGPT happened, also what happened was that Llama model got leaked, and the open source world kind of jumped on it and created a lot of packages, created some tools around it. And one of the most kind of useful is Llama CPP. It is done by Georgi Garganov, and it enables you to run basically those large language models which you know locally. Not now, because you will not be able to run, for example, ChatGPT 3.4 or Gemini or models like that. But there are a lot of variation on Llama models. There are a lot of new models from Mistral, and for example, now there were some contributions by Google and also from IBM. To install Llama CPP, you just pull or clone the repository, and it enables you various modes of build. It requires C and C++, but you can use it with CUDA, or you can use it also with Metal, or you can just use it with your CPU. Another very important point which happened last year was also a new kind of way of enabling the models for inferencing, which was the quantization, where you would, instead of using floating points, 32 or 16, you would switch to integers. And it would make the model much, much smaller. And also it would enable, for example, with using Llama CPP, to actually run the models on your computer. So I already downloaded the model and compiled. And this is the Mistral model. And I'm using a prompt from Mistral, asking what is PyCon conference. And you can see this is running on my local computer. It's a 7 billion parameters model, quantized to 4 bits, and it's running quite reasonably, I believe. But that's not all. Llama CPP in kind of base offering, let's say, it offers also server modes, so you can run it as a server and use any kind of APIs to connect to it or any kind of language. But because we are on PyCon, there is also Python binding. And it's the Python Llama CPP binding, which you can download with pip, and you can use it in Python. It's really, really nice. Okay. So I need to first import, sorry. And I call the, okay, sorry. Invoke the prompt again. Takes a bit more time because it's not streaming, it's actually computing on the background. So let's give it a few more seconds. And while we wait, when you use, for example, the server, you can use also the stream kind of connection. And it's very nice to actually connect, for example, to Streamlit and create some kind of chat kind of experience with it. And if I output the result, it's also quite nice. What I wanted to show you as the last thing was that on Hugging Face, actually everybody from the open source kind of converged here with the models. And to be able to run the models in with Llama, CPP, just search for the Giga format, and you can see there is around 6,000 models available. You can download them, you can run them locally on your machine. So if you want to, for example, it's very well suited for summarization, for entity extraction. It's not so good for some question answering, but if you include retro-augmented generation, you can also use that. So thank you. That will be all from me.
Right on time. Excellent. All right, next up, we have Get Crazy. I already am. Get Crazy with GPT Dolly by another Miro. Are you the one that was winning? My nemesis. So I was reading the Zen of Python earlier, and I hate to break it to you guys, but it says there should be only one obvious and there should be one obvious and preferably only one obvious way to do it. So why do we have 3 different versions, 12 different ways to download them, and over 80 different frameworks that do the same thing? Think about it. Sorry? Neutrino. Oh, did you know that neutrinos are Catholic? They actually do have mass. Okay.
Dobrý večer. Mám problém. Potrebujem si navrhnúť logo pre seba, pre moju prácu a pre moje hobby. Môžem si urobiť logo sám, môžem si objednať grafika, alebo môžem skúsiť zadať prácu ChatGPT. A tu je výsledok. Je tam všetko. Programujem. OK, není to úplne ideálne, tak ako moja angličtina. Robím občas aj web design, alebo webodane. OK, nepoužívam myš. Hius a Moucen. OK, nesedí to úplne. Mám 10 mačiek. Mám 8 mačiek a 2 kocúrov. Dobre, logo by nebolo úplne ideálne pre ChatGPT. Poďme na niečo zábavnejšie. Čo tak jaskyný človek, ktorý si robí selfie. Takže zadáme prompt. Evidentne som to písal ja. A výsledok? Do pozornosti dávam trošku nesprávny počet nôh, ale jak skvelú košelu, kamennú. Poďme ďalej. Robím nejakú akciu o Linuxe v mojom meste, v ktorom som sa narodil. A zase potrebujem nejakú grafiku. Takže napíšeme dlhý prompt. A tu je výsledok. Čo robí to jablko vľavo hore? Druhá iterácia. Dobre, robíme to trošku futuristickejšie. Cyberpunk. A výsledok? Počet nôh trošku nesedí. Jedna je navyše. Dobre. Keby chýbala, bolo by to horšie. Pokračujeme ďalšou iteráciou a ideme na Futuretro style. Neviem, či to poznáte. Trošku nesedí to úplne dokopy, ale je to futuristické, je to retro. Výsledok? Zase trošku nesedí počet nôh a mačka v trúbe. Pokračujeme niečím lepším. Steampunk. Steampunk mám rád. Evidentne používa Linux. Toto z toho vážne vyšlo. Tak poďme niečo pre arch Linuxákov. Dajme kamenný mainframe s arch Linuxom. A kde sa to bude konať? Čo tak brutalistická budova s logom Tuxa? Nemusí existovať, ale mohla by. Poďme nejakú reklamu, napríklad na brokolicu. Čo tak urobiť akčnú, ale vtipnú? Napríklad s tyrannosaurami. A teraz, ako tieto prompty boli napísané? Ja som ich samozrejme nepísal. Ja som začal niečím takýmto. 2 tyrannosaure sa bijú o brokolicu. Čo s tým? Tak dajme to na výšku. A toto je výsledok. A urobme to zábavným. Tak jednoduché to je. Ďakujem za pozornosť.
Thank you. I've always wanted to see Tyrannosaurus Rexes holding broccoli. That really made my day. All right, next we have Hint, Use Duck Types by Alvaro.
Okay.
Schrodinger and Heisenberg were driving in a car together, and they were speeding, and they got pulled over. The policeman asked Heisenberg, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And Heisenberg replies, "No, but I know where I am."
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, cool. Right, okay. So hello everyone. I gave a talk earlier today, and it's a little bit about how to build payments in Python. And well, I mean, the organization knows already how difficult it is to get payments right. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I was talking about. One of the things that I was talking was the idea of inheritance versus composition. And a piece of feedback that I got after the talk was really interesting, and I wanted to share it with you with some live coding if I had the time. And the idea is that you cannot, I mean, it's assumed that you cannot reject inheritance when you're talking about types, because there's this idea that you have an ABC class with abstract methods, that you have some run and not defined method error in the middle of the function, that kind of stuff. Like you cannot do away with base classes so that you can pass along in the code, right? So if I have this function, I'm probably going to inherit from this abstract operation response that is going to be implemented here in the operation response. And I mean, I'm not talking about anything shattering here, but the thing is, I'm not doing that. And I want to show you what is going on here. So the thing that I want to talk a little bit about is this protocol class that is, I don't know how recent it is in Python, but it's fairly recent. And the idea is that this protocol is designed so that it checks without having any inheritance that there's this there's attributes, there's classes over there in the code that have the same attributes and the same methods. They automatically belong to this class without any inheritance going on. And let me show you what I mean by that. Just to show you, I'm going to check this file, actually the folder where this flow file is happening. As you can see, MyPy has no complaints about this stuff, and it's actually fine with it. But the moment that I change something in the protocol, and let's say something like PyCon rules, and it's probably going to be a Boolean, because it's obviously going to be true or something like that, you can see that even though, as I show you, there's no relationship between these two, MyPy is complaining that operation response is missing. It's missing this PyCon rules attribute, and I can always go back. The perils of light coding, and if I do bool, and obviously it's going to be equals true, then MyPy is back on the green. Well, maybe not. But because I'm so bad with these stuff, and that which is the purpose of types after all, to verify this stuff for me, so that I don't do typos, I don't do the silly stuff. So we're back in green, and this actually works for methods too. Let's say, I don't know, have a nice year, and see you next year. This is going to be fine. Why? Well, because the protocol allows for the things, but whatever you add on top of it is going to be fine. Whereas, for instance, if I do something silly, like I have a nice year with an attribute, like, I don't know, hey, it's going to be a string, and return, I don't know, let's say test, something bad is going to happen here, because even though it's the same method, I have defined with different attributes and different arguments and all that stuff. But good stuff is that if I go back here and I make sure that this returns a string, there you go. Yeah, don't use Vim extension in VS Code, please. So if I go back to here and I go back to green. This is just a little bit of what you can do, and I'm going to be brave enough to just say these so that I can remove the need to import altogether, which is one of the usual complaints when you have with types. And yeah, it works pretty cool. So no need to import, no need to anything. Check the protocols on the PEP, and thank you.
Thank you, Alvaro. All right, next up we have How to Wear a Perfume by, sorry, what's your name? Tomasz. All right, thank you.
Hello, this is maybe a weird topic for IT people, but here I am. My name is Tomasz. I am a Python software developer, but I also have this hobby of creating perfumes, which turns out to be a surprisingly technical endeavor. And technically speaking, what is a perfume? So it's essentially a bunch of smelly molecules which have the ability to fly through the air, get into your nose, occupy the receptors, and make your brain have a sensation of the smell. But what is the purpose of the smell? Well, it is especially communication. We have the sense of smell so we can know what's going on in our surroundings, environment. But from the other side, why would a person, an animal, or a plant have the ability to produce smelly molecules? Well, it is for communication. And essentially, there are like 2 or 3 purposes why to communicate through sound. First is to attract pollinators or mates. Second is to warn your surroundings of what's going on with you. For example, when you're hurt, some plants have the ability to warn this. And the third is to actually repel some predators or somebody who is able to hurt you. So imagine if you are a cinnamon tree and a bug climbs up to you, takes a bite of your bark, and then suddenly all of the mouth is full of cinnamon, so probably the bug is not going to take another bite anymore. So the purpose is to repel now, not to kill later. For that purpose, this aroma chemical is actually an irritant. And so when we're talking about perfumes, in the past when people needed aroma chemicals, they had them from plants and spice seeds and flowers and also animals too. But now when the perfume is created from irritants, actually you cannot wear it on the skin because it's gonna eat you. Then the mode of wearing perfumes was to actually spray them on napkins and wear them on the pocket so you can occasionally smell it and people around you can smell it when you walk by. But with advancement of technology and especially chemistry, there were new chemicals coming in that people and, perfume creators were able to incorporate into their compositions. And so with advancement of time, they were still better and better and better. And a huge breakthrough in the craft of perfume making was a perfume we probably heard of. It's Chanel No. 5, which was important also for the crowd because the author of the perfume was able to use chemicals that were deemed not very possible to use in higher concentrations. And second, because it introduced perfumes to a very, very wide audience. And so there is an urban legend going on about an interview with Coco Chanel. The interviewer asked her, so where is a person supposed to spray the perfume on the body? To which she replied, anywhere you wish to be kissed. And so whether this is true or not, the legend says that from this point on, people tended not to spray the perfumes on napkins or on the clothes, but directly on the skin. But the places are, if you can imagine, the places that are very sensitive to irritation, like it's sensitive places. And so this is the point where people started wearing it on the skin, but when it irritates, you cannot wear it so much, so many, many, many restrictions and regulations came into place. And today we have a lot of chemicals that are purely synthetic, and we can use them safely. But still, the topic of my speech is how to wear a perfume. So to get back to that, whenever you choose to wear the perfume on your skin or on your clothes, the main point is, I would say, that the purpose of a fragrance is not to announce your presence, it's just to accompany it. And thank you very much.
So, as a pseudo-French person, I really appreciated that. All right, next we have Just Use UV by Jan. So my new favorite part about the Python community is that the fellow up there just walked down with a list of chemistry jokes. So you guys rock. But I don't think we have time. I'll give you one after this.
Vidím tam. Toto je v pohodě, toto je skvělé. That's not me. So, can we start? How many of you do you know UV? Okay, that's a good number of hands. How about the full thing of Astral using RAF? Okay, so I would like to maybe tell you about a tool that I think is really cool to improve our workflows. And this is UV, which is a kind of a little replacement for pip, and RAF, which is a replacement for like 90% of the tools that we need, like the MyPy, Flake, and so on. Like the list goes very, very long. What is UV? So UV is a dependency resolver and also a package installer. It claims to be pretty fast, like compared to Poetry, pip, and so on. It's like, yeah, no comparison there. So let's see how it really works. Does it work? So I've already pre-copied the installation script, which you can copy from the website, or you can use pipx install UV. So you can get it to your machine with this command. It runs some script that you should probably not run unless you trust the script, but I do trust it now. So let's start with, so to install, so normally our workflow is to create a virtual environment and so on, and then you start working. So what do? You use Python
the VNV module usually, and you create a .vnv folder with the virtual environment inside, right? It takes a while, it's something crunching, and then you do source, and you essentially activate the environment. And that's it, and then you can do pip install, and I use a lot of machine learning, so I use Torch, which is this machine learning library. And now you can usually go and take a lot of coffee, like one is not enough. It takes a while, it keeps installing and installing. And I don't think I have enough time for this Python talk for this to finish, so I'll just cancel that. So let's deactivate our environment. Now, how about we use UV to create the virtual environment? So UV VNV, that's it. Bam, we are done. We have a virtual environment installed. Now we can activate it the same way as you have it also listed in the prompt. And it's activated, source when being activate. What is also nice, that the prompt itself gets updated with the name of your folder. So if you have multiple environments, you can kind of get a better idea how it works. So now we have our environment activated. Let's do UV pip install Torch. This is wrong. It's unsatisfiable, of course. So let's pip install Torch properly, which is, that's it. It's installed on my machine now. I can also install, I don't know, IPython. And, well, of course, I cannot do pip IPython. That's not a correct command. But it's UV. You have to prepend the pip with UV. And that's it. You install IPython. And this works. I don't have to probably show you how it works. The cool thing about this now, okay, let's deactivate this. Now, let's remove our virtual environment. Now you're traveling on a plane, right? And you want to create a virtual environment. RM, RF. So how about you do like UV pip, no, not UV pip, UVNV. That creates the environment. And now if you want to UV pip install, normally what would happen with pip is that it would fail to install. But actually I can give it a flag called offline. And let's do Torch. And that's it. I have my Torch installed offline on a plane. And that's the magic of pip, of UV pip. You can also, if you like, I prepared a little like requirements file here, which is very simple, that doesn't contain much. It contains some dependencies like torch and scikit image, and I can do UV pip compile. And let's do requirements.in, and I will not put anything, but you can stream it to a file, and it automatically also locks the dependencies for these packages, so then you can have more reproducible environments. So, and that's it. Thank you. Please use pip UV and use RAF. Those are fantastic tools.
Thank you so much, Jan. Great job. All right, guys, that concludes the lightning talks. Do I tell one more chemistry joke? Or? Yeah, okay, because we have the lovely list. All right, so hold on, I forgot it. I took a photo of him. Okay. Have you heard the one about the chemist who was reading a book about helium? He couldn't put it down. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. Huge round of applause for all the talkers. Great job. Awesome.